Alright guys, welcome back. In this lecture, I'm going to try and show my approach to doing the conditional statement challenge here, so you guys can follow along with me. And one thing I want to point out before we get started is that if your code doesn't look exactly like mine, that's okay. There's multiple ways to do these challenges, and the cool thing is it doesn't really matter if it's 100% correct. I just want you guys to basically understand the concepts, and as long as you can basically make a program that does the same thing, that's cool. And feel free to add anything else you want to the programs as well, because that'd be cool as well. And feel free to also share them in the comments as well. I'd love to see what you guys are making. So to get started here, let's look at the conditional statements challenge. So first thing we have to do is make a conditional statement to reflect how many lives a user has. Okay, cool. First thing we have to do is prompt the user to ask them how many lives they currently have and save it in a variable. So let's go something along the lines of user lives. And we go equals, and let's go input, to input the user, right? And let's say, we could probably put how many lives you have, would probably be a good starting point. How many lives do you currently have? Now, obviously, in a video game, this would probably never happen, right? It'd be something to already kind of determine how many lives somebody has, but we're just for the sake of using this exercise, I wanted you guys to use the input function here. So how many lives do you currently have? And remember, we need to make this an integer since we're going to be doing some different comparison operators that deal with numbers. So we'll go int so that the user's input gets turned into an integer so we can actually use it. Okay, so we have that. We're prompting the user for how many lives they have. We're saving that as user lives, so that's good. Next up, we're going to start our conditional statement. So if the user puts a number greater than or less than 3, so we'll type that out first. So let's go if user lives is greater than or equal to 3, then, and we'll put our code here. So then say you have too many lives, you need not worry. Okay, so let's do that. We'll go print. You have too many lives, you need not worry. And don't worry if your strings aren't exactly the same. Main concept here is that you understand how conditional statements work. Next up, so that's the first one, right? So next up, we're going to go elif, or elif, whatever you want to call it. Elif, else if. And this is going to be our second one here. So actually, before we continue on, let's just test here and see if the script actually works. Let's go save, hit play. How many lives do you currently have? Let's say we have 5. You have too many lives, you need not worry. Okay, so it's working so far. We're going to kind of test this in blocks and chunks, and I advise you guys to do the same when you debug your programs. So let's do the next one. So we go elif user lives is equal to, we'll go equal to 2. Would be the best way to do it. Then do this code. And let's see here. User should proceed with caution. So we'll go print. You have 2. We could either say 2 as a string, or we could directly put the variable user lives. Either one works. Since this is our only trigger, if the user has 2 lives, we can just use the string. If you have 2 lives left, proceed with caution. Right? Save that. Let's test this out. So we go hit play. How many lives do you currently have? Whoops. Let's say 3. You have too many lives, do not worry. Let's run it again, and let's hit 2. You have 2 lives, proceed with caution. Cool. Working so far. And we'll do another one here because we want to do another one. Right? So user lives is equal to 1. Then we'll say print oops, messed something up here. Print you have 1 life. Be careful. Just type it something like this. So let's test this out now. How many lives do you currently have? We have 1. You have one life, sorry. Put 1 life. Be careful. Then we hit play again. Or run. You have 1 life, be careful. Okay, so everything's working out so far pretty good. And last but not least, I think we can use our last one as an else statement. So we'll go else to close up our conditioner block. User lives is equal to 0. We could go less than or equal to 1. Or equal to 0, sorry. But we'll just keep it simple like this. Print you have 0 lives left. Game over. Alright. So this looks pretty good. Let's run it and see. Oh, looks like we have an error here at user lives. So else user lives. What's going on here? Equal to 0. User lives. What's going on here, guys? Can you guys figure it out? Alright, so the actual error I have here is that I'm comparing the else statement with 0 lives. With 0. Now, if you actually get rid of this, let's think about this for a second. So, is there any possibility where if we type 0, something other than this would happen? Let's kind of go through this here. So, if the user types 3 or above, it will trigger this, that you have too many lives, so that's good. Now, if they enter 2, that's good, right? Now, enter in 1, and it should be good. Now, if we hit 0, let's test this out and see if it actually works. So let's hit save. Let's run. And let's type in 0 and see what happens here. Okay, so in this case, it does work. Now, if somebody typed in like a floating point numbers, so like a decimal number or something like that, we might get an error. We could actually test it out and see. Go 0.5. And you can see here that that's not working. And that's actually because of the int here. So this is kind of a bug in our script. So if we really wanted to test it out, we could fix that, but we haven't quite covered that yet. So, you know, obviously our program isn't 100% foolproof, but I just wanted to test it. It's important to test your code, and then as you learn more, we can try more things. But this is basically, you know, this kind of basically does as you want it to do. It's good enough for now. So what you guys can do is share your code. Feel free to, you know, make some adjustments, try some new things if you want. Feel free to change some different things. Feel free to try some different operators, to try some different codes. But obviously, we're pretty limited in what we can do right now, right? Because we haven't covered a lot. Yeah, we'll get there. So don't worry, guys. I hope you guys liked this lecture. If there's any problems you guys have, again, feel free to leave a comment, and I'll get back to you guys, and I'll see you guys later.